I had been at work and I came home, was on my way back up to the school where I worked at the time. And I was pulling up to the intersection and it was about 2:45, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so there really wasn't a whole lot of traffic. And I stopped right about here because there was a car in front of me waiting to turn right on red. And I saw this guy come out of the median and kind of ignored him. And then I realized that I didn't know where he went. And I looked up to see where he had gone. And then the next thing I know, he sticks this big silver gun right in the passenger side window and says, "Give me your car, get out of your car, or I'm gonna pop you." And as I got out of the car, he shot me anyway. Went in right here next to my heart and came out back here between my ribs. I had damage to my sternum, a punctured lung, 2 broken ribs, my liver was grazed, a lot of scar tissue in there, and I laid there on the pavement bleeding, thinking this was not in my plan of things to do today. But God's presence during the whole thing was really spectacular. The people who showed up on the scene just randomly happened to be believers. A kid that we know saw me laying there in the street. Before I was even life-flighted to the hospital, 5 of my very best friends were right there with me, praying for me. And the way I was ministered to through people in our community of faith was nothing short of miraculous. See all these names? At the time of the shooting, I was the interim director of Hill Country Christian School of Austin, 500 kids and their families, and you know, their support and love for me and my family and my kids was amazing. One hilarious one said, "Mrs. Baker, I'm so glad you're better, but I didn't think you were going to make it." They were hilarious. It literally, it was evidence of God's hand. Number one, that I didn't die to begin with. Because it was a .357 Magnum and it was a hollow point bullet, and usually you don't get shot by those at close range and live to tell about it. It should have killed me. Minimally, it should have, this is going to sound horrible, but it should have blown out the back half of my chest, and none of that happened. It's crazy to still even talk about it. I was shot. A 40-some-odd-year-old woman in Northwest Austin, living her normal life, going to work, taking care of kids, cooking dinner, doing laundry. You don't get shot. And he just looked like some dude that was out walking. I had no idea. Dennis Wayne Harvey, he's serving a life prison sentence for both the crime he committed against me that day and crimes against 2 other women and another guy whose truck he stole. The guy that stopped here to help me, he stole his truck. Where is God in that? How do we walk through those events as fallible human beings, but come out on the other side of them again as victors, not as victims? As individuals who choose to take the difficult events in our lives and use them not only for our own good, but for the good of others. How do we do that? Those are the life lessons that I'm beginning to really dig into, and things that I'm going to begin to write about, I hope, in this next year. And I was just headed right back up the road here to go back up to the school. And I didn't make it that day. This is what I said in the courtroom when they finally did the sentencing in Travis County. And I read it, and I was a little shaky, but I got through it. "Mr. Harvey, the intent of this opportunity that I have to speak to you is supposed to be a victim impact statement. I do want you to understand the terror you brought upon me and my family on November 3rd last year. Now, people told me I should not take the time to talk to you, that you would not really hear what I had to say, that your heart is so hardened it wouldn't make a difference. But I believe God is bigger than that. I've been praying for you since this happened, as have a lot of other people. I will continue to do that. I also want you to know that you have my total and complete forgiveness. That forgiveness does not come because I'm such a remarkable person. It comes because I know a remarkable God, and I know Him through Jesus. The hole in your heart can be healed. We all need that heart healing. We all need to be set free of our own individual mental and emotional imprisonments. I don't care what you've done. I don't care what your childhood was like. That redemption can be yours. Mr. Harvey, you're forgiven, but you're not forgotten. Whenever my side hurts, whenever I look at the scars, I'll pray for you and your redemption. It's my hope that someday on the other side of this earthly life, I will see you in heaven and you will be a whole, happy, and fully redeemed man."